Welcome to our company that farms the best strawberries in all of Australia. These are not your average Aussie strawberry, but the world famous omakase strawberry. The omakase strawberry is a rare berry identified with a crisp outside, light and airy flesh, and an incredibly sweet taste. We'll be growing and harvesting these strawberries in an innovative indoor vertical farm based in Sydney CBD. The benefits of a vertical farm include highly energy efficient, minimal water usage, lower transportation costs, and no chemicals or pesticides, ultimately achieving the UN SDG goal of climate action. Firstly, I'd like to divulge into my self-reflection that has taken place throughout the Capstone project. When first presented with the Capstone project, feelings of despair and confusion were felt, as I have never attempted an assignment like this before. I was lost in trying to figure out my role in the group project, being a finance major. It wasn't until I actually went back in time to look at my previous assignments I completed for my finance degree. Shown on the screen is a group project I completed in the subject Applied Financial Analysis. After studying my previous work, I was presented with numerous ideas and ways I could tackle the Capstone project and be of an asset to my group. Throughout this process, I gained feelings of confidence and a substantial boost in my self-growth. I'd now like to talk about my self-regulation. Here is a screenshot of our Facebook group chat where my own organising skills can be identified. It also showcases leadership and initiative, which are skills extremely relevant to my future workplace. Throughout the Capstone project, I also created an Excel file where I pieced together the budget and the cash flow statements. I used different Excel functions throughout, showcasing my high degree of Excel knowledge. This too is a very valuable skill I can take into my future workplace. Self-evaluation is a strong tool that greatly benefits individuals' personal growth. Personally, I believe gaining all types of feedback is the best way for myself to grow and learn. Throughout the Capstone project, I decided to get a start on the financial budget very early. The financial budget affects all sectors of the business, meaning there was a lot of room for feedback from other teammates. The image shown is myself sending the financial budget into the group and asking them any questions and queries. As you can see, one of my teammates had a question about the human resources budget. This then sparked a collaborative conversation which ultimately led to an improved outcome. Throughout the Capstone project, I was presented with a communication issue with one of my teammates. We were both completing a finance major and had to coordinate who was doing what. As seen, I tried messaging him on Facebook as well as sending him an email. However, both forms of communication did not reach him. I then had to seek guidance from my tutor. In the future, I'm going to coordinate an appropriate communication platform that works best for my teammate. I've learnt that I'm a very adaptable and will not struggle communicating on a new platform.
Hello everyone, my name is Chu Hang and my major is entrepreneurship. Today what I will present is about my undergraduate journey and the capstone project. When I choose entrepreneurship as my major, I plan to learn how an entrepreneur discovers business opportunities and try to successfully practice them in my undergraduate study life. After 3 years of study, I have picked out the 2 units that I think have the greatest impact on my team skills and the professional knowledge. The first one is MGMT 2025, and I applied my collaborate skills to do the Cambodia drinking water market access and finish a video presentation. The second unit is MGMT 1394. I put forward many innovative ideas in this group project to help change the disaster prevention mechanism in Australia. The last year's study made me realize that entrepreneurship is not only about business sense to develop a new venture, but also about showing social responsibility and making efforts to achieve sustainable development. This semester's capstone project was a new challenge for me, as I had to partner with 6 students from different majors to create some sparks. Although sometimes everyone has different perspectives to solve problems due to different knowledge, it also provides me some critical opinions of our projects. My task was to develop a business model canvas for the capstone project and explain it, and then made an analysis of the industry environment using the Porter's 5 forces model. In group cooperation, I applied my leadership and networking skills, that is, urging team members to submit agility exercise before the deadline and combine the infographic results of each team members into one document. In addition, Google Documents was created for team to set up the basic structure and the test formats of the report. I also get very positive feedback from my team members. However, I think there are still imperfections in our capstone project. As shown in the figure, there was a format problem about agility exercise of one team member, which may be due to the lack of information sharing and communication during the work process, leading to each member completing the work in isolation. I will track the process of each member in the future group cooperation to ensure the correct fulfillment of the test requirements.
Hi, my name is Daniel, and I'm majoring in marketing management. In this presentation, I'll reflect on my journey within my degree and demonstrate how previous experiences in different units have allowed me to successfully contribute to the capstone project in MQBS 3010.
Initially, when presented with the capstone project, alongside my group members were unsure of how to proceed with an idea that we could all agree with. We knew that to follow our SDG Goal 13 of climate action, we would have to develop a solid idea that would be sustainable, where we could generate outputs by utilizing sustainable sources of energy. This started as a saltwater brewery that could produce biodegradable plastics. However, we were unsure of how to generate profits from this method. After some thinking, I raised the idea of vertical farming to the group. The idea that I proposed was a vertical farming method that could grow a high-quality seasonal produce all year round. I drew inspiration for this idea from the MKTG 203 consumer behavior, where we were tasked with a similar goal of combating the SDG Goal 12 overconsumption. The team liked this idea, and we went through different crops such as oranges and tomatoes. We eventually settled on strawberries, as we recognized there was an open market where there is no competition for premium strawberries in the Sydney CBD, as well as an existing plant in Japan where we could purchase seeds from. During the writing of my chapter in the report, I had to draw experiences in past units such as MKTG 2004 Integrated Marketing Communications and MKTG 3011 Brand Purpose. These units provided me the knowledge to write the core sections of my chapter. Finally, MKTG 208 final project consisted of a trade show where we had to design and market a product. That trade show project was remarkably similar to the task that was required in MQBS 3010, which allowed me to reference and draw inspiration from. I'd now like to talk about my self-regulation. As the only marketing student in my group of mixed majors, I felt inclined to offer my insight and ideas for ways that we could move forwards with our project. I took on the teamwork role of the plant, a person who creates ideas, and then shifted this into a team worker role, where I attempted to provide support and encourage cooperation. This is shown in these screenshots where I remind team members of the due dates of our various assessments. Additionally, I attempt to coordinate class meetings as various team members were absent for several weeks. By taking on these roles, I demonstrate skills such as creativity, positive mindset, and organizational skills, which are highly relevant in the workplace. Now, for self-evaluation and growth mindset. Working on this project has allowed me to recognize that I could improve my communication skills greatly. Although I did attempt to communicate, such as with due dates and class meetings, I could have done a lot more to coordinate the group. Due to inadequate group coordination, there was a lack of group meetings and instances where members would not show up to class, which impacted the cohesiveness of our group work. This is shown in the agility exercise where there are inconsistencies in formatting. Throughout this project, as mentioned before, there was a severe lack of communication between several team members. As such, there are skills that I must refine for this problem not to arise again. In the future, when I'm in the workforce, these key skills will be communication, organization, and keeping track of how everyone is doing. There may be external issues unrelated to work that I am not aware of, and by maintaining strong relationships with team members, these issues can be resolved or compensated for, leading to a stronger final result for the group.
My name is Yara, and my major is Human Resource Management. There's a lot that goes into human resource management. So straight away, as soon as we had received information on our capstone project, a billion thoughts raced in my mind regarding which areas of HR will be relevant and which areas I will need to avoid. As we've mentioned throughout our group presentation, our team has worked on a project to vertical farm and produce omakase strawberries. Therefore, the aspects that I would be touching on from a HR perspective are work health and safety, recruitment, and training. Working within a team came with some difficulty, as I've always been comfortable completing individual work without having to rely on the consistency of others. I've previously worked on group projects throughout my degree, and I've struggled with holding all team members accountable, as well as maintaining consistency throughout our projects. In saying that, I'm currently employed at an allied health clinic where most of the work conducted there is multidisciplinary, meaning a lot of our work relies upon other people's work and working together. I've adopted teamwork skills over this time and have applied it to my current team's project, the omakase strawberries, by communicating with my teammates about what I am doing, including negotiating with some of the finance majors to adjust the final budget of the project to cater to my section of the report. Skills that I have obtained throughout working on this project include my communication, problem solving, time management, and collaboration skills. I personally believe that all of these skills are essential to take outside of the classroom and into the workforce. Good communication skills assist with trust building, respect, and a positive work environment. Problem-solving skills helps me think outside the box in a calm manner, which brings a lot of ease to the rest of the team. My improved time management skills help me remain accountable and responsible, especially within a fast-paced work environment. And finally, being able to collaborate well is helpful in uncovering new creative ideas, share different perspectives, and ultimately improve my own skills whilst contributing to the team. I had the opportunity for great self-evaluation within the agility exercise, where I was able to reflect on myself and my performance, identify my strengths and weaknesses, and plan and possibly implement strategies for self-improvement. For example, one of my weaknesses was communicating remotely, which acted as a barrier for not only myself, but the entire team. I had to set up goals to keep myself accountable and responsible for communicating more clearer in my messages or voice messages to the team to ensure that there was no miscommunication. I also advised our teammates to attend classes regularly so that we could communicate in an easier manner, as opposed to our group chat. Receiving feedback via LinkedIn assisted me in understanding more about some strengths of mine and finding more confidence in my capabilities and skills. Besides from receiving feedback from others, spending the time to self-evaluate and give feedback to myself helped me identify some strengths that I identify with, which are communication, empathy, and listening skills. One challenge that I mentioned was the barrier of remote working. However, this challenge did assist me in the development of my technical skills, such as using different platforms and applications that I either have never used before or are not too familiar with. Platforms like Portfolio, our Course Compass, LinkedIn, and even Zoom. This project also contributed to me having more of a sustainable way of thinking when it comes to businesses, particularly how a business can contribute to the UN Sustainable Development Goals.
This has been a heavily teamwork-based unit and has led me to reflect on the skills and motivators in accomplishing a goal in a group setting. There were many challenges faced in this capstone project. Firstly, by taking this unit online, non-verbal communication was hindered and I found an in-person dynamic is harder to substitute through online workspaces. I found the skills of organization to be highly useful, as keeping a structured agenda, our goals were precise and clear, reducing confusion and allowing us to better pool our resources towards a common aim. We would update our agenda on Google Docs, as you can see, and this organizational skill was highly relevant and will be in future workplace scenarios where instead of given a semester, one would have to rapidly adapt to newer problems at the drop of a hat. Hence, organizational skills prevent miscommunication and allows the team to be more efficient. Despite our roles clearly defined, I feel as though there could have been better collaboration between some teammates. The meetings in the beginning of the semester were excellent and productive. However, some teammates that I needed to work closely with were more unreliable and I struggled to foster a collaborative effort with. In contrast, most other members were very responsive and helped to create a unified approach in our project. In evaluating my own efforts, I struggled to balance a lot of my own assessments this semester, and I think that if I'd planned further ahead, dependency on other teammates to be responsive would have been reduced. Adopting methods to help with this problem, such as weekly journaling, will allow me to better awareness of the timeframes I have to work with. However, I've also learned that I'm capable of coordinating and organizing progress between individual group members in order to enhance the unified approach of our group. I've experienced much personal growth across my degree as I'm studying both science and commerce. I feel I've gained insight into two differing disciplines, however, both have taught me the value of confidence and creativity. I feel far more confident in my fourth year as a university student in my ability to offer ideas, accept constructive criticism, and rise above mind-think. In my first year, I was somewhat shy in suggesting ideas in fear of them not being worthy. I have now learned to shift my perspective, realizing that there's no harm in being suggestive, but there is in being too self-critical. I was able to overcome these obstacles and draw on my combined interests of science, business, and accounting upon my previous experience with our topic in suggesting the idea of vertical farming to the group. This was the idea that was ultimately selected for our project, and I've come to the understanding that learning occurs through the exposure to new experiences and one's desire to change as a result. Other projects that I've worked on have included a synthetic biology challenge, where I transformed enzymes from ideanylsaccinases that are capable of degrading PET plastics into E. coli to create a unique metabolic pathway that will be able to degrade microplastics within mammals. My experience within this unit helped me to think more creatively and translated to this capstone project, as I was able to combine both my science and business perspective to consider how microbiological engineering of strawberry plant genes within our hypothetical business could increase competitive advantage and reduce costs from an accounting perspective. Thank you. In conclusion, largely our group was successful in modes of online communication and organization, although the consensus agrees that more collaboration is essential for better team function. Vertical farming is an industry of the future, and its numerous benefits towards the environment, such as reduced water consumption, reduced need for insecticides and pesticides, more efficient use of space, and ability to be a net carbon negative business, are all reasons as to why this business aligns closely with the Sustainable Development Goal of climate action. Thank you.